Hello, Divine Family. Kimberly Swenson. I wanted to share with you guys what I have learned on my path about simplicity. Years ago, when I was in my 30s, I have 2 closets full of clothes. I was working in corporate America doing business-to-business sales, and often I would go into my closets and I would take a look around and lament, I have nothing to wear. And back when I was still really not knowing much about self-love, I would buy new things to make me feel better about myself. So buying something new, and then all of a sudden I would feel better about myself, or going and getting a new thing of makeup, or getting my hair done at the salon, whatever it was, getting my nails done, and this would give me this boost of feeling good about myself. But it never lasted. When the novelty of the new thing wore off, then I would need something else new to feel good about myself, or some other outside thing outside of me to feel good about myself. And working corporate America during those couple years that I did just sucked my soul. It was not aligned with my heart at all. It was very competitive driven and competition all the time, and the values just weren't aligned with my values at all. So I transitioned out of that, and at that time I was living in a 5-bedroom, 2.5-bath house, and had all this stuff. And then after transitioning from corporate America, I got in a position where I wasn't able to continue affording that big house on my own, so I got a roommate, and then that complicated my life more, because they didn't have the same values necessarily that I did, and it was just more of a stressful situation. So in simplifying my life, it's been a process. I downsized to something smaller, and even at one point, my husband and I, after meeting my husband, we were in a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath house with a big garage, and I found if it seems like it's human nature, or I'm not sure what it is, but if we have a big space, we tend to fill it. And we filled that space. And my husband's very sentimental, and so anytime anyone gave him anything, it was a family member or a friend, he wanted to keep it because it had value to him. It was special. And we were called at one point to release our home and move into an RV, which was downsizing significantly. We couldn't take any of our furniture with us. We couldn't take, a lot of the things, all of our plants, which that was one of the hardest challenges for me to release, was our plants, because I felt like they were family. But we did it. We simplified down to an RV and lived in that for a year, and found even during that time that we had so many things, and we kept so many things to keep for the just in case. For Justin, my husband likes to call him Justin. They're for Justin, just in case. So, we kept all these things for Justin, and Justin never showed up, and we didn't need him, and so I was able to see, after downsizing so dramatically after that year, that Justin never showed up, and I still didn't need all this stuff. And then on our path, the RV, the engine blew, and so we released that, and then we kept downsizing, and we thought that at one point we were going to be moving to Mauritius, which is on the other side of the world. And so we downsized basically to just our suitcases, which meant years and years and years of accumulation, and some things that were really heartfelt. David, my husband, had made this staff that he'd carved with his by hand, and we decided that we didn't need any of these medicines outside of us. You know, we'd accumulated all these, sound bowls and different crystals and all these things that we thought were really special. And there came a point where we realized we are the medicine. We don't need anything outside of us to tell us our value and who we are. So we simplified even more, and we released all of those things, and we had a big fire ceremony and burned them. And it was really freeing. So then we could go wherever we wanted on the planet and not feel bogged down by the need to keep these possessions. We did not keep anything in a storage unit for Justin. One thing I've learned on my path is you can always get more stuff if you really need more stuff. And sometimes I have released things and went, oh gosh, I really wish I had that one thing. But you can always get that one thing if you really, really want it. And then the things that you really, really want. But there were a lot of things that I really, really didn't need. In my toiletry cabinet, I had accumulated all this stuff over that I didn't even use. I had all these essential oils that were sitting there that half the time I didn't use them. And so I really pared it down to exactly what I will use and got it down to 2 suitcases, which were all my clothes. I realized I didn't need all these different outfits. That's my husband also taught me that. He would wear the same thing often, all the time. And I'm like buying him all these new clothes and like, hey, and then he wouldn't even wear them half the time. And I'm like, honey, people are going to think you don't have any other clothes. He's like, I don't care. And then there came a point where he had gone off to Mauritius and I was stuck in Portland. I had this passport issue and I had already gotten rid of all of my clothes for colder weather. And so I only had like 2 outfits or something. And I realized during that time I didn't need anything more. I was staying with a girlfriend in her tiny home, and she gave me a few things to wear, but I basically was rotating between like 3 outfits. I would wear the same sweater a lot, and I realized, it was my own judgment of what someone else would think of me wearing the same thing that caused me to think I needed all these other clothes, that I didn't really need them. And in transitioning to that, I was doing less laundry. So I had more time to do other things. I was, and I just quit giving a fuck. I've lost a lot of fucks on my path, but this one was a challenging one, especially as a woman. Men, I think they have a little easier time, but women, we've been so programmed and conditioned to think that we need to look this certain way and have all these outfits and all this, do ourselves up, which I don't understand because, if you look at the animal world, it's the males that are the ones that are strutting their stuff, like the peacocks. The females are pretty plain, and it's the male peacocks that have the big bright feathers and are trying to attract the women. Like, why are we trying so hard? Shouldn't it be the males that are trying hard? Really? So anyway, that's been one thing on my path. And in simplifying, it was like with everything, because I realized all the chemicals that were in my house. I simplified those years ago, but now I've simplified even more. I'm down to using vinegar and baking soda to clean because that doesn't harm the environment. It's super economical and easy, and often water is like one of the best solvents ever. Why don't we just use water instead of all these harsh chemicals that are harming us and the environment? So I got to where I would read everything in simplifying my life, every label of everything, food, any product I would buy, anything, I would read it, and if I didn't know what something was, I would Google the side effects of what it, like, here's what this word is that I don't know, and I would Google what are the side effects. And in doing that, I found I really didn't want any of these products. And so that simplified my life even more. So I don't need to have all these things, which freed up so much of my energy to be able to do other things. Because then I'm not, thinking, oh, I have to create this certain income, have all this money to buy all these things. I'm like really simple now. The only thing that is my medicine now is raw organic food. And that's really simple. One of my favorite meals, I'll show you the recipe right now, is this. I slice it open, sprinkle some Himalayan salt on it, and that's it. This is the best recipe ever. Simple, simple. Why do we complicate life? Like, it doesn't need to be that complicated, Living simply really takes out the stress in our lives. And stress is the #1 cause of disease and disorder. When we're stressed and thinking we need all this stuff and all this whatever, that's, going to create a lot of feelings of not being enough and competition and all the things that are going to cause us to be not at ease. Dis-ease. So I have found in my life that living simple has created a magical, beautiful space for me to be completely at ease. And I hope that this will help you on your path of learning to simplify. And if you want the full program, we have a full love program on learning to love yourself, because I know now from all of my experiences that self-love is the foundation for everything. And if you cannot love yourself truly, deeply, with all your heart, mind, and strength, then you can't love others at that level. We cannot love anyone at a level that we have not learned to love ourselves at first. So we have a full program that we've created for you on that, getting back to the heart and to love. And we've done it because we know that it's the most important thing on this planet is love. So if you feel the call in your heart and you want to step up into more love, then check out our program on www.thesdicinc.com. thestickinc.com. We love you, and we're cheering you on every step of the way. So much love.